That's why we built Enterspeed 5 years ago. We have now created systematic creativity.
So crazy data back and forth, right?
But the complexity explodes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this space where we analyze how digital tools adapt to the latest market trends, guided by the expert. And talking about expert, I know very good this guy. He is an expert. Today we have a Toke Lund, which is the CEO and founder of Enterspeed. Hi, Toke. Really nice to see you. How you doing?
Nice to be here. I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad that this week starts to unfold as it should be. But maybe we can have this discussion after with a coffee when we have more time. Now I would like for you to tell our viewers a little bit about Enterspeed. What is Enterspeed?
Yeah, so Enterspeed, our promise is that we help customers accelerate growth and reduce complexity. And we do that by our technology that focus heavily on efficient process and high-performing technology, making sure that data flows and is orchestrated in a nicely way towards a front end, towards third-party systems, but also being able to decouple back-end systems. So in short terms, you could call us a middle layer, but we actually we prefer to call it a data orchestration layer.
I like that idea of data orchestration because I see like a director of orchestra saying stop, come by, and put everything together. So crazy data back and forth, right?
Yes.
And you make it work. It's like a Calcutta traffic that you have to put order there and said, hey, let's bring a little bit of as much as that data as we can and in order, right? I don't know if that works.
No, but in a modern world, there are so many different systems and sources in play. And it's like a big orchestra, as you just mentioned. There needs to be a conductor saying, now we need to play the violins. Now we need to have some data from the bass, and so on. And with this conducting all the data, you need somewhere to orchestrate that data in towards showing it to one customer. And that's the crucial idea in the composable world, right? That so many systems, but you need to orchestrate the data so it makes a fantastic tone towards that one particular customer.
Yeah, because data is there every day more and more, right? Every day we bring more data to the game. What if we don't have these? So if customers they don't have orchestration of data, or they don't have Enterspeed, what are the major problems that they face?
Speed of innovation. So most of my customers are enterprise clients, and they have a legacy ERP system, maybe a new CMS system, and other things. But what they really lack is how to put that data together in a way that serves the new kind of digital experience we want. Maybe we want to show a different price. Maybe we want to have a different description for a different segment, and so on. But without that orchestration layer, you don't have that speed and agility to actually accelerate your innovation. And if you can try to build it yourself, but the complexity explodes and you become heavily dependent on those who build it. And I will take a bet any day of the week that it will be extremely expensive. Yeah. I have tried it myself. Bespoke software is not necessarily the way to go. And that's why we built Enterspeed 5 years ago, building that infrastructure that can orchestrate data across all kinds of sources. New and old, we don't discriminate.
I like it. I like, my background is technological, so I like data and technical bits in order, everything in their box working as they should. A question, Toke, you mentioned something about your customers. What is the type of customers that you have that uses Enterspeed?
Customers with complexity. Either it can be enterprise customers who has 3 different CMS systems, maybe 2 different PIM systems, a legacy ERP system, so on. So a highly complex landscape below, or actually want to have this data to be orchestrated to many different channels. So one of our clients is sending data towards eBay, Amazon, and a couple of others, including their own channels. But it has to be variants of the same data, but they don't want everybody to call down to their legacy CMS, which, by the way, was built 40 years ago. So either you have complexity in the front end or you have complexity in the back end, and you need that orchestration to make sure that it's aligned and consistent and available and high performant.
I like something that I hear, but because right, there are a lot of tools that try to solve a little bit of these bits, right? Like pushing data here, there, managing channels. Am I understanding right that you want to take with the Enterspeed a little bit maybe more agnostic or flexible path to that you can solve more than one specific problem? Is that right?
Yeah, and it's also part of some of our communication problems, because customers sit down and say, "Oh, I have this problem, but I need to solve this over here first." And then I
Yeah,
tend
yeah,
to
yeah.
say, "I can help you solve that over here."
Also with that.
And
Yeah,
then we go on a journey, right? Because a digital transformation is not a on and off kind of thing. It's a journey. And
yeah.
we have built this because I've been sitting on the other side of the table, understanding that it's a painful journey. So actually chopping it up and helping throughout the whole journey is an important point of ours to make sure that we actually succeed with our clients.
Okay, I would like you to show us a little bit of the tool because we cannot understand the whole spectrum of it, but we like to see the eyes of the tools and familiarize with that. Could you do maybe a tiny demo or showing how it looks?
Of course, I would actually show you something that is extremely new to our portfolio.
Ooh,
Utilizing Gen AI, but with the power of orchestration, we can do something that is quite extraordinary. And that's what I'm going to show you as we speak. So let me show you Interspeed. Here it is. So I will just make my screen slightly bigger.
okay.
Inside
Here I can see it.
Interspeed. So my name is not Atlas, but you know it's my son, so I have overutilized his name. But inside Interspeed, I've created 4 different sources. A source
Okay,
called brand. Imagine that this is content coming from a CMS system. A source called product. Imagine that this is data coming from a PIM system.
right.
And a source called segment. And this is segments coming from um, a CDP system or CRM system, or
Mm,
maybe
mm,
just a spreadsheet.
mm.
Then I have another one down here called Speed Train, and this is our newest innovation. So I will give you a small glimpse of that. But actually, it comes one-to-one with what we can do. I've sent in, just prior to this meeting, I've sent in some data on the products. In this case, we should imagine that we are one big leisure travel agency with 10 different brands, 8 different segments, and a lot of hotels that needs brand and segment specific descriptions. So here we see 10 different brands. You can see brand number 1 is called Novicell, and that has a very tight description on the hotel and where
Yep.
it's located and so on. And then I have also uploaded some data on the brand. So in this case, there are 10 different brands. The first brand is a brand name called Soulful Journeys. It has some values in terms of what is the USP, the core values, the brand voice, and so on and so on. And then in the travel and the leisure industry, there's actually 8 distinct segments. So here's a segment. It's called business travelers, and they
Okay.
have some demographics and some properties there with some values.
Mm.
Now let's put Interspeed into play. Because when data is ingested into Interspeed, we process in a way that how do we want to utilize the data? We can rephrase the properties. You can do a lot of things with JavaScript. But actually, the cool stuff is that we can also send this data in a systematic way towards a third-party system. And with this third-party system, we have sent it to an agnostic AI. So here is a small UI for this AI. As a marketeer, you can fetch the data.
Mhm.
So here's the 20 hotels. I've only want the first 2 for this small demo. You can see product number 1 is called Novicell. I
Yeah.
want to create a description for the brand Soulful Journeys. I want to make the description focusing more on business travelers, and I want to do it in Spanish.
Hmm.
So now I'm actually translating, I'm localizing, and I'm merchandising towards a specific segment. And if I want something, I can say focus on Easter at the hotel. So now I'm even doing even more focused description for this hotel. And then I can start reviewing. So now the train leaves the station. We are doing a highly complex multidimensional response. And here you see, you have the soulful journey, that's the brand. You have the businesses, the business travelers, that's the segment. You have the product, the hotel, that's the current Novicell. We want it in Spanish. It's the first review. Here's the luxury hotel with a stunning city views, modern decor, and excellent service.
Which
And
is the
here is
original? Okay, I can see. I will
here
make you pronounce this in Spanish.
never ever.
Mm.
You will laugh your pants off the whole weekend then. But what it will do is also take into account some of the elements from the properties
Wow, I can
outside,
see that. Yeah.
saying how far it is to the airport, what is important for
Yeah.
this segment to actually do. And
It
for
it
argument's sake, let's just say make it shorter. So we take the next one. That's a hotel called Ocean Breeze. For argument's sake, in this very short demo, we will just
Mhm.
approve it. And now you see it again. Here's the hotel Novicell. It said rejected once. Here is the much shorter description. By the way, it has a better SEO score. We like it a lot. We can even see what are the keywords that we would like to have in. All good. You can feed it with other keywords if you want to. Then now I've actually completed two very localized segmented text. I can upload it to Enterspeed, and now I can show the final view of how fast it goes with a high-performing orchestration infrastructure. Because over here, I have the source called SpeedTrain. If you look at the timestamp, it's now, it's real time. And now we have the original description in property number 13. And in property number 14, we have the new description for soulful journeys for
Yeah.
business travelers in Spanish, and it's ready to go. This has already been processed, and I can actually give you a curl in this meeting that you can utilize on a Black Friday. So now you have the data available, whether you want to push it back to a PIM system, you want to use it on mobile, you want to serve the AI agents that is
Yeah.
looking for that particular text for tomorrow. We have it all available in a high performing, high available API that can be utilized across the globe.
You know what
So
I love about. Sorry, go ahead.
no. It's just with this data orchestration, we have now created systematic creativity that you can utilize in all sorts of ways, whether you are selling products or you just want this long text to be summarized for a 7-year-old, or you want it to be summarized for a CEO. Sometimes it's the
Mm.
same, but sometimes it's different.
Sometimes it's the same like the CEO and a 7 years old.
Yeah. If you look at the US presidencies, maybe it is something like that.
You know what I love about what I've seen? I mean, we know that having data well structured is crucial for every moment and bit of your company, right? And the stage that they have. But everyone is facing a very peculiar moment now with AI, which brings us a little bit of anxiety, if you want. But isn't it true that, at least I feel that the capabilities that AI offers now are way above of what we can use, and the main limit is how crappy our data is.
It's the old saying of garbage in, garbage out. But what we need
Exactly.
to realize that you need to actually start working with AI in a systematic way. I have seen so many business cases starting like this business case will take us to the moon, and it ends up like a paper fly on a rainy day, right? But what's reality is that you need to work systematically with AI across an organization. So it has to be the same approach. You need to utilize all the content to make it better. but you also need to make sure that it's non-invasive into your current system landscape,
Yeah.
because otherwise you are risking a lot of things. And that's why
Yeah.
you need an orchestration layer to actually do this for you, making
Yeah.
sure that AI doesn't go into the to the core system, but only
Yeah.
utilizing the data from the core system. And that's why we really think that this is truly important to have that security by design, the decoupling, but also making sure that data is processed right for the AI to consume it right.
Yeah. 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 I
And
love
that's
it.
what we do
I
right
really
now.
like it. I really like it. Okay, I have a few more questions for you. Just
Excellent.
three
Throw.
short, super short questions, pitch type of questions that I would like to do with our guests in this space, and to help us reshape finally what is this, what are the values of this tool for different type of persons, like for a CMO, for a CEO, for a CTO. Let's start with a CMO. Like, I'm a CMO, why I need Enterspeed in my company.
Because with Interspeed, you can accelerate utilization of Gen AI. You can do it in a strategic way where you, as a marketeer, decide who do I want to be strategically as a brand? How do I want to strategically communicate towards my segments? And then you can take these two things into account and actually redo your whole marketing content production with one swipe. And then you are already getting there. So you can increase conversion rate, you can increase relevance with this, but you can also use it to growing internationally. We just translated from English to Spanish. So growing with segments, growing internationally, and you can do it in an extremely fast, scaled, but controlled way. That's why when I worked in the Lego group, we called it systematic creativity.
Oh, I like it. I need to take this for my company as well. I know you have a bunch of extremely clever and talented IT guys there. Tell me, if I were the CTO, what is that clever guys bring to the game to my company if I use Enterspeed?
We simplify processes. So nowadays, if you look at development processes, there's so much back and forth between the front end and the back end, actually defining what is the right API output that we will do. With
Mm,
this, a front ender can do his own high performing API, not screwing up anything in the back end. So you will run much more efficiently. You will spend less time on maintenance. We will be very cost efficient. So your Azure cost or your AWS cost will not go through the roof. And with that, you can run a much more efficient development towards innovation instead of towards maintenance.
like it. And what about for the CEO? The CEO is sitting with his bunch of other CEOs and founders in the golf club, and he's saying, "Well, I have just I'm just using now Enterspeed." What is he bragging about in with his other peers because he has Enterspeed?
Growth. As simple as that. It's so from time to time you learn that you grow by reducing complexity. And if you start to reduce complexity, you can grow much faster. With this that I've just shown you, you can grow new segments, you can grow your business, you can grow your relevance. You can do it in a very simple way. So a CEO, he will brag that after he started using us, they would have less complexity in their system landscape, which is always good because most organization is blaming IT because they are slow, but they are just dealing
Mm.
with legacy decisions. But he will also feel actual business growth in terms of yesterday we could only do this one piece a day. Now we can do it 100 times more.
That's right. I like it. I like that one. You're totally right. Reduce complexity is the only way of growing. I remember hearing that not many years ago. Yeah, I need to take note of that as well. By the way, Tonka, we are reaching the end of this this lovely chat. It was super nice to have this chat with you, and time fly. I would like to have few more hours to have way more questions, but sadly we have also meetings. And
Yes.
but I would like to invite you in maybe in the future so you can tell us a bit more about other or analyzing other aspects of data, because also didn't touch upon one thing, which is in your name, speed. You're also crazy fast.
Yes. Performance is a key element both to AI, but also to implementation, but also to web traffic performance. So speed is our foundation of what we do.
I like
So
it.
so Leandro, I want to go to Spain anytime soon. So the
Yay!
more reasons to go now, and that has been a pleasure. Thank you for having me here.
Let's do it. Anyone that is interested in knowing more about Enterspeed, they can just visit the link that we will post everyone. They can Google Enterspeed everywhere, right?
.com. Yeah.
.com.
Enterspeed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I hope to have you soon with another chat here in this channel. Okay.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Toke. Have a lovely day. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye.